Welcome to Higher Caliber, where each week we dive into the backstory and history of the people and companies that keep America running.
My name is Andy Strassell. I grew up around the Lucas area and born and raised. Went to school with Jared here. Currently, I am the owner and vice president of Hi-Point Firearms here in Mansfield. Been around for 34 years now. My dad's one of the originals. Tom and Ed Stollard started it.
Started in a garage.
In a basement.
Yeah,
actually, then they went to a one-car garage. That's when Dad got the machine shop going.
That's how all good companies get started, though.
Well, yeah.
Amazon,
Yep.
Microsoft.
Just a little garage. Just a guy with a dream.
Yeah.
And my dad met Tom when he was working in a machine shop. He was a tool and die maker, and made molds for Tom. And Tom asked him if he wanted to run a machine shop, and that was Dad's dream. So that all went from there. Dad met him and went to Ed Stollard's house in the basement and had bolts in the breaker box to stop the breakers from blowing because of all the machines, and they really didn't. Well, I mean, I guess they didn't care. It wasn't that they didn't think things through. But Dad told them to end up burning the place down.
They just wanted to get things done.
Yeah. And, I mean, Tom started selling guns before he even had an FFL. I mean, it's...
And Tom's no longer living, correct?
No. After it was... I don't even think it was a full year that when my dad took over, Tom and his wife Shirley were going through a divorce at the time. Mm-hmm. And Tom ended up having a heart attack down in Texas, just out of the blue. And they actually said that it definitely wasn't his first.
Really?
Yeah, his heart was pretty scarred up, I guess.
He owned a few businesses in Mansfield, right?
Man, he did. The list is endless, the things that man had his hands in on. He actually started with VHS, or was involved in VHS rental stores for a long time.
I know that there's a pool hall down the street.
Yeah. He owned actually 2 or 3 of those, I believe.
Yeah.
One of them got shut down at one point. And I mean, he really liked pool. He traveled all over the place. A lot of people knew who Tom was.
Yeah. And
he was a very, very humble, very respectable man. And very talented. Had a lot of dreams, and him and my dad made a lot of them come true. Yep. It's pretty impressive, the story.
Well, we talked earlier about the Trump slump that you guys went through.
That a lot of us have went through in the industry.
Yeah.
And it did a lot. Nobody was worried about getting their guns taken away after the election turned out the way it was. Elections are a big part of our business. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty amazing the way, I mean, just politics and panic is what runs our businesses. So
yeah, it's always 4 to 8 year cycles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, any presidential election, usually
uproar.
people are panicked, and then he had COVID, so you guys got slammed.
Oh yeah,
like everybody else did.
Yep. We went from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs. There, it was kind of amazing going from the Trump slump to COVID.
Yeah,
and it was very interesting to watch and to be able to manage 2 fires in the middle of all that.
Yeah,
that took out our machine shop.
Yeah,
so that was a big hit a couple different times. The first time it was actually ended up being the security system, the camera system that caught fire, and right in my dad's office.
Yeah, the thing that's supposed to keep everything safe.
Yeah. Yep. And that's the way it works. And then they actually remodeled the whole building. And then one of the heaters, I think it was a lightning strike or something, blew like the gas line off the back of one of the forced air heaters, and it just sat there like a torch and just burnt right next to one of our CNC machines. We lost 6 CNC lathes in the first one, and I mean we only got 4 or 5 buildings out there.
Yeah.
At the time, it was maybe 30 to 40 employees. We're not that big for the amount of guns we put out, and the length that we've been in business.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people don't know, because up until 2 or 3 months ago, there wasn't even really a sign.
No.
So
it's kind of a touchy business, so we try to keep a low profile, but we were running into employment issues, trying to find people that wanted to work. Nobody wants to work.
Right.
And people that were willing to we put a lot of good things in place when me and my brother took over that my dad, after 30-some years there, just didn't. He was done.
Yeah.
And I can't blame him at all. They took a lot on their shoulders and a lot of families. And it was a ride. It still is.
So, like, what time frame was the big layoff? Was that like
That was between
08 type?
Yeah, right around there, I'd say.
The recession kind of?
Yeah, well, no. It would have been after that. It was right after the Trump slump. So it was
Okay.
It was more.
So, like, middle of Trump, right before COVID?
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah.
Yep, and they had to lay off a lot of people, like people that had been there 20 years.
Right.
And, I mean, my parents are very heartfelt people and very caring people. And when you have to destroy somebody's life like that after they've been there for 20 years, it's definitely something you bring home with you. And I was living with them at the time, so
Right.
watched a lot of amazing things, and an amazing couple be able to stay together during it all.
Yeah, that's
rough. They made it seem easy. They've been together 40 years, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah. And you've been in the executive part of it for a few years, and it's already you can tell.
Oh,
it's not always greener on the other
no,
side, right?
And if you think about it, my dad got into it at 87, 88, and I was born in 88. So I've pretty much spent 34 years of my life there.
Yeah.
And I used to go in there and ride my Power Wheels around in the one-car garage and run in machines, and Dad would yell at me, and there was this one nail in his tool bench that I just hated, evidently. Give me a hammer, and I just hit it back and forth through this 2x4 for hours. I still remember that.
That's one way to babysit a kid right there.
Yeah, I know, right? Let him run around a gun shop.
Yeah.
But no, I was hell on wheels when I was younger. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But I've been very fortunate to have the parents and stuff I have and be able to experience the things I have in my life.
Yeah.
From suicide by my uncles, my dad's brothers, to opiate addiction myself.
Yep.
And be able to come from rock bottom to damn near the highest top that I could ever dream of. Yep. Somebody would have told me 12 years ago that I would be where I'm at, I would have laughed in their face. Mm-hmm. And I would say, there's no way they're going to trust me with that. But it's been a ride, and it taught me ways to actually connect and communicate with people. Yeah. And I know the things they're going through, and it's helped with the employees. I've got a lot of very good friends out of that place, and a family. Honestly, it's always been a family atmosphere there, always will be.
And even our friends from school, they always had a place to go work if they
oh yeah, there's Angela Foss just started out there.
Yeah.
And Serena Grace. There's Brandon Clay's out there now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. I mean, David worked out there in the hydro shop forever, and I mean, there's a bunch of guys that run that, all from Lucas now. You
guys have always been really good at giving somewhere for people to work and
hey man,
family environment.
If you're willing to put the time in, we'll give you the shot. And we actually noticed Dad was always. I've worked bigger machine shops too. That you're sitting across the table from a guy that's making the same you are, but he's reading a magazine. So you have to, when you're in the top spot like that, you have to keep an eye open, and you got to watch who's actually doing good.
Right.
Because the people that don't bitch and actually do what they're supposed to do are the ones you want to keep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there's a lot of very heartfelt people there that care about that place.
Yeah, you guys you told me earlier, people working there over 20 years.
Oh, yeah, easy 20 years of just our firearms experience.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that. And
right.
The lifetime warranty and everything they put in place, it's...
Yeah, you want to talk about that a little bit? Because there's going to be plenty of people listening that don't necessarily shoot firearms or...
Well, we got our shit talkers about us, but
yeah.
But it says something for a cheap firearm company to be able to be in place for 34 years.
Yeah.
It's easy to make an expensive gun. I can hand make a 1911 or a 2011 that runs great.
Yep.
But it's going to be $5,000-$6,000.
Right.
But to make a gun, they designed a gun around manufacturing processes.
Yeah.
They didn't design a gun and then find the processes. So it was cheap processes that they did, and they did an amazing job doing it. I mean, it's like I said, it's easy to make an expensive gun. It's hard to make a cheap gun. Yeah,
and we've talked about that. That's a challenge in itself to, I wouldn't say mass produce, but I mean, you are mass producing.
Yeah, for 80,
guns
90 employees now, and putting out just pistols, just C9 and 380s. We're going 1,500 a week, sometimes 2,000 a week, and it's just getting better. We've put a lot of new machines in there.
Yeah.
And
you guys did a lot of rebranding.
Yes.
When you and Joe kind of took
when
over.
my parents took over, we did a complete rebranding.
Okay.
We came out with the new logo and all that, and the new website.
It looks really good.
We had a rebranding party out at SHOT Show. That was the first time that I ever met Matt Carricker from Demo Range. I actually was a little lit. And I smacked my brother on the chest and was like, "It's Matt!" And I took off running like a little fangirl. But, and then this past year, I ended up staying at the Venetian, and I rode a elevator down with him and his wife, him and Mare.
Yeah. Didn't you say you saw his wife first?
Yeah. When I was standing there waiting for the elevator, it opened, and I seen the mirror. I seen Mare's face, and I know my mouth just dropped because I am a fangirl.
And honestly. You don't get very fangirlish about many people.
No.
But you actually enjoy the stuff they do. And
yeah, I mean,
they're genuine,
it's my life.
Nice people.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that he's just a good, very good man.
Yeah, because you probably saw hundreds of people there that.
Oh yeah, Brandon Herrera, donut operator. I mean, I met a lot of them, and I met Matt Hughes a few times. He's good friends with the guys that run MKS, our distributor.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think a lot of people think before we get back to that, because it'll come up in conversation like, oh, I don't know. Somebody will say, why don't they sell to this or do this? And I don't think a lot of people realize that the other part of your guys' operation goes on at MKS.
Yes. With
the distributing and the everything else.
The booths at the shows, a lot of the marketing, they handle all of that.
Yeah.
And
I've heard those guys on other podcasts.
Dave Kawaka. He's a very good guy, very smart, very very into the industry guy, and he shoots a lot of competitions and stuff. And Charlie Brown is the owner, and Kara, his daughter, is actually coming up in it, and she's rocking it. I mean, she's ready to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Like me and my brother started, and I know the question's going to be about the YC. It's coming. It's way harder than what everybody thinks. And if we could do it that quick, we would. I don't see we want it as fast as everybody else does.
And it's kind of hard for the social media guys to respond to every loaded comment on Facebook and Instagram, but it'll get here when it gets here.
If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Everybody would do it.
Nobody would be behind a keyboard. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
everybody has their opinion, but it'll get here.
Yeah, and it's close.
Yeah, but people are still buying your guns because.
Oh man, the C9s we can't. I mean, it's insane.
The slogan for the longest time for Hi-Point's always been the working man's gun because they don't have to spend a paycheck.
No, man.
To have a gun.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Sig fangirl. Always have been. Ever since I went through the academy and shit. But I can respect a good gun.
Yeah.
It's not. I know Hi-Points. I don't know every gun out there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm in the industry, and I got a pretty good collection.
Yeah,
it's growing as we speak,
right.
Actually. And sky's the limit right now. Stepping away in 2 weeks, and
you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's actually a very good thing. I've been handed an opportunity that not many people get, and me and my brother, we had rough times. You work with your brother for 4 years, you're gonna butt heads.
Yep.
Especially when you're dealing with 80, 90 employees. It's gonna happen, and I'm just not built for it. Right. I'm more of an outdoors guy. I need to be in an excavator, bulldozer, something like that, or running my sawmill I got. I want to do that kind of stuff. I need to be outside. And with what we got going now, it's going to be beneficial to a lot of different people. And it allows me to exit on a good note, still have a good relationship with my brother and everyone in that shop.
That's good.
And that's
the way you want it to be.
And everybody wants it that way. Everybody that works there, my brother, everybody knows me. They know that that's not me.
You can still, you're still welcome to go in.
Oh, yeah. I'll go in there.
With the guys.
Oh, for sure. I'll go work on the floor. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to be as involved as I was.
Right.
It tore at me. I'm a very, very, very good person, I think. Mm-hmm. And I take a lot of things to heart. and I've watched. I literally watched that place do a number on my father and mother, and they're still together, and they're retired now and enjoying life. They've battled their battle, and they deserve every bit of it. But
And your dad still helps out.
oh yeah,
But
yeah,
it's probably not nearly
no. If
as taxing as it
if
was.
our new engineers and machinists, if they get in a pinch, they'll call Dad. Dad will come in there and he'll help them out. I mean, he's got 34 years of working on that brand.
Yeah.
So he's designed and built all of them.
Yeah, it'd be a shame not to give him a call.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And he still loves it. He loves coming in there and seeing everybody, seeing all the faces, and especially seeing me and Joe in there working together, trying to figure out issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's probably I'm not a father, and I've decided not to be. Mm-hmm. So I'll never completely understand it. But for a father to watch his two sons take over his life's blood, and what he's put his blood, sweat, and tears into, and
I think a lot of parents want that.
Yeah, to see them working together and smiling and having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's me and my brother can still figure issues out and talk, and it's still good, but I could see it going bad.
Yeah, when you're dealing with it's a lot of responsibility because you said, you have people working. How many employees are there right now?
It's getting close to 90 now.
90, and that's just on the manufacturing side.
Yeah, and that doesn't include Iberia and Haskell. That's our 40 and 45, the people who assemble them.
Yeah.
We give them the parts and they assemble them.
Yeah.
And they do all the repair work. I mean, they do great.
Yeah, so you got, I'm in business with my brother and 3 other people, and we don't have nearly, we could just stop tomorrow and nobody would, we all have full-time jobs.
Yep.
But when
and
you got that much riding on the line, it's kind of
it's very
stressing.
much high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what, you try to leave your job at your job when you go home.
Right.
And I truly believe that that's one thing that it made me really cold and made me me and my wife are having a rough patch right now. We may get together, we may not, I don't know. But we're both okay with it for right now. And I'm planning a trip. I'm going to be taking a 6-month trip.
6 months.
Why not? I mean, go see the country. I want
should.
I want to see a lot of people.
Yep.
Meet a lot of people. Matt, I'm talking to you. I'm coming.
Talking to you, Matt.
I don't want on any channel or anything. I just want to sit down and talk, man. But and there's a lot of people that I'd like to just. I want to go see Ryan Upchurch. He looks like a dude that I could really sit down and talk to.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah.
Like, I don't want anything from you. I just want to sit down and just have a little willy time. But yeah, it's all good. Everything's.
We talked earlier before the podcast. I think everybody kind of, everybody talks about getting away for 6 months, but not a lot of people do. So I think it's time to, decompress a little bit
and document.
Yeah. Get a YouTube channel started.
Oh, bud. Sky's the limit, man.
Yeah.
We got some plans to make. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna have some editing to do.
Yeah, for people that don't know, I've been recruited to do Andy's editing, but I'm just an amateur producer at this point. Yeah,
I'm planning a trip for about 6 months. I got a trailer already. I'm RV shopping now. Got all my bikes in order. I got a 1290 Adventure KTM and a 300 XCW KTM, and now I just got a 500 Enduro 6 days today. So pack them all in my trailer, big RV, and hit the road.
Just you and the dog.
Yep, me and the German Shepherd, me and Nix. She's really connected to me since me and the wife split, and she listens real good. She's just over a year old, and I'm a dog guy. I got a pit bull terrier mix too, Gibbs, that's always gonna be my baby. I got him.
Got him tatted right on your chest.
Got him over my heart. He'll always be there.
Yeah.
But it's been something that I truly believe I've been preparing for that I didn't even know I was.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy how everything's falling in place. And I'm going to downsize into this RV for 6 months, go see some people around the country, some family, some friends, and do some riding.
Yeah.
Get some time in on the bikes, me and the dog. And
there's only
refine myself more than anything.
Yeah. There's only so many roads you can take in Richland County, so.
Oh yeah. You gotta get out that team local area here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people are jealous about
Shout
that.
out to the team locals.
Right on, man.
But I mean, it's been a ride from when I was 14, when I pulled my dad away from his brother that had just committed suicide. I went from that to doing 10 perk 30s a day, just to escape my own head, to cloud it to where it didn't work right. I couldn't hunt anymore. I couldn't fish. I mean, it lost everything. And
How old were you?
it started when I was like around 18, 19.
Yep. Right out of high school.
Yeah. And then I left here for a while and went down to Hocking College down in Athens, and went through the National Ranger training down there and got certified to be an OPATA officer and National Park Ranger, and then went back for forestry.
How was that schooling? Because I've never really talked to anybody. I have friends that have done it, but I haven't talked to them about how the school itself was.
The school's amazing. What they do is right down my alley. Outside, woods.
That's
and
where you belong.
Hands-on training, too.
Yeah.
It's more like Pioneer or something like that around here.
Once
I got to Pioneer.
Take a test every week, and that's it.
Or they'd give you, like down there for forestry, we had to do, I think it was a 1 acre, 2 acre plot. We had to do an estimate of how much lumber and trees and bushes and
oh really?
We had to go around. They had different ways you could measure everything, and it was complicated. I forget it all now. I mean, once you don't do it for a while, you forget it. Just like me and my machining.
Right.
But it's been a heck of a ride. I've seen a lot of things that made me cold to the world, but made me a realist at the same time. This is life, and you have to live it, because tomorrow isn't promised ever.
Very true. Very true.
And it can be taken away just as fast as it was here.
Yeah. And that's another thing. You talked about addiction, and we talked about earlier. I think a lot of people from this area can really relate.
Oh man, it's definitely something that needs to be addressed, and I think there's more of a mental illness underlying cause for a lot of the things that, at least in my situation, my head worked in a weird way, and I lived a great life. I was very fortunate to be born to the parents that I had, and Dad go from working 3 jobs to owning Hi-Point. I mean, it's been a ride, and I've never had to struggle for food, never had to worry about a roof over my head, none of that. And
it doesn't make everything better though.
No, you still have your own struggles.
Right.
And your head, it's just like anything else, a magnesium deficiency or something like that. It just doesn't produce the right chemicals, and that's okay. It's no different than having to take extra iron or something like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that, and especially being male, it's always buck up, deal with it.
Man up.
Yeah. No, fuck that. I need help. It's not that hard. Ask for help, and you're not alone.
Right.
That's the biggest thing you got to remember. And you can beat those addiction demons.
Yeah, and that's another bad thing, because you have people that are struggling from mental illness, and they're also surrounded by drugs.
Yeah.
So
they're unfortunately in that. And it's welcoming, it's comforting, and you're numb to everything. I mean, my mind didn't work the way that it did, so I was numb. Now I deal with back pain and all this pain all the time. My shoulder definitely doesn't look healthy at the moment, but it doesn't hurt. But all the pain reminds me that I can still feel.
Yeah.
Every day I wake up.
It's a good way to look at it.
I'll take some ibuprofen sometimes, but I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
I can still feel. That's what I want to remember, because I remember all the numb. It just was too much, and I'll never go back. Even dealing with the separation with my wife and all the stuff I'm going through right now, I'll never let those demons win again.
Right. Because you've seen the highs and lows.
Oh man,
And
there's so many of my friends that have battled it. We've lost a lot of friends. Just this past week, we lost a close one to Lucas.
Yep.
And it's hard.
Especially being there.
Yeah. And knowing the battle.
Yeah.
You always wish you could help, but they have to be able to ask.
Right.
Or you have to be lucky enough to be close enough to tell them, hey, it's time.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too. Sometimes I feel like even if there was like a community outreach center in the middle of downtown, you still, like you said, you have to be willing to go, or it's not going to. Don't get me wrong, it would be nice
Yeah.
to have one in your backyard, but
Yeah.
like you said, it takes that.
You have to reach the point where you yourself says enough's enough.
Right.
You can't let it control your life anymore.
Right.
I went through probably close to a month of detox on my parents' couch. They watched me shake, puke. I mean, I don't wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'll always lend a helping hand to somebody that ever needs it.
Yep.
I'll always have that soft spot in my heart, but they have to be willing to do it.
Right.
It's not easy. It's hard. It's a battle, but you can come out on top. And I mean, I've came pretty damn far since then. And,
yeah, I would say so.
What, 10 to 12 years? It's went from one end of the spectrum clear to the other end. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to keep helping. I mean, like I said, I've been handed an opportunity to where I can touch a lot of lives and help a lot of people, and that's what I want to do. It doesn't take much for me to live. Like I said, me and an RV and my dog, I'll be good.
Yeah, you're a minimalist like that, but...
Oh, I'd love to just have a cabin in the woods, man. Just me and a couple dogs, and everybody leave me the hell alone.
I know we've talked about it before. I don't want to give anything away, but we have talked about... because you are a guy that likes to give back, and we've talked about maybe setting something up for...
Helping vets.
Addicts.
And people that are just... They don't know where else to go.
Right.
Like, I don't want anything from it. I don't want the recognition from it. I just want to help people.
Right.
That's because when people hit that, and you're a vet, you know. I mean, I'd seen you when you came back. No, it's hard to talk about, and you don't want to talk about it.
Right.
But you have to. Be a realist.
Yep.
You have to face it. It's hard, yes. You'll cry. You'll look weak. Yeah. But you're not alone.
Right.
You can handle it. Scott, David.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them that I love to death. And it's crazy that I was friends with them before they went.
Right.
And when they came back, we've all gathered back up again.
Yeah.
I mean, anything from the trash bash to
yeah,
to crazy nights and SHOT Show with Scott and exploring Vegas, me and him. That was amazing. Yeah. But I want to take you. I will get you guys out to
I'm
SHOT
trying
Show.
to go. I'm trying to go.
I am footing the bill myself. You are going. We are going to get you, your brother. I mean, whoever wants to go. Well,
Yeah.
I want to buy a couple rooms and
It sounds fun. I've only been once.
introduce you guys to the dark side of SHOT Show.
I heard everybody that go, or half the people that go to SHOT Show get sick after. They call it like the SHOT Show funk or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But now they probably
actually, now that you
blame
say it, pretty much every time I've went, I came back and had something.
Now they blame it on COVID, but they said before that everybody got a cold or something.
No, it's alcohol and cocaine. That's mainly what it is.
Yeah, I have heard too. Now, don't get me wrong, I still want to go, but I have heard too that there's a lot of people that are like big concealed carry advocates that'll be there for like 3 or 4 days that don't carry a gun and they just drink the whole time. I mean, it is vacation.
That's bullshit. They still got guns on them, man.
I bet they do. They probably can't say that they're drinking.
You think they're going to go after that many people like that? You think the cops are going to say, yeah, let's go after these guys?
Yeah, let's wait till they get off SHOT Show.
They're here for a gun convention. Don't leave them alone.
Yeah, I remember, Scott texted me after last time you were there. He said, hey, I said hi to Ernest Langdon for you. I tapped him on the shoulder and said, Jared says hi.
He did too, dude. He fucking smacked him on the shoulder. It was hilarious. Like, we were just walking through, and Scott's eyes got all big, and he reached over and smacked this dude. And I was like, oh, God. and I was like, oh, shit, it's Langdon. It was hilarious.
He was probably like, I have no idea who you are or who Jared
I think he recognized Scott.
It wasn't too long. It was it was maybe 6 months.
I mean, you meet somebody like Scott, it's hard to forget.
Well, Scott did sell him a pair of Solomon shoes.
Oh, yeah. He's in with him then, man. They're best friends now.
He's in the industry.
Probably talks to him all the time. They probably go to competitions together, I bet.
Bet not.
Probably not.
No, it does sound like fun. I need to go.
Yeah, man. And our industry gets a really bad rep. but you talk to anybody out there. I mean, you're going to have your cocky assholes in it.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. But everybody's real heartfelt. Everyone's there for the same reason. They all
Right.
understand that. And from, like I said, Matt Carricker, Brandon Herrera, Donut, all them guys, to
Jerry Micklick's out there all the time.
The Black Rifle guys were out there. I've seen all them. They're always surrounded by a posse, and I'm always scared to even touch them because
You mean like security guards or girls?
like fangirls?
Oh,
fangirls and girls. Security guards, no. Who's gonna fuck with them guys?
That's true.
I mean, especially the Black Rifle crew, man. That's why I was afraid to go. Hey, man, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm getting my arm chopped off in the middle of a SHOT Show.
They seem pretty cool.
Oh man, they're all down to earth people, and I mean that's why they're there. That's why they're where they are.
Yeah.
They all deserve it. They all work hard and they put the time in, and they've served like you. I think all of you.
I think most of those guys are ex-Rangers. Pretty cool.
Like I said, I don't like getting close to them.
Yeah.
But yes, very, very talented men and women.
Yep.
And it's just, I don't have cable TV or I don't have Dish or anything like that. I watch YouTube.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm in the gun industry. I watch Matt and Brandon and all them guys all the time. So they're like my fucking Chuck Norris or something.
Yeah. Well, is there, what do you plan on doing now after you get back from your trip?
Well, I'm going to have somebody finish the house that I've been building. And I'm going to stay here in Richmond County and start a homestead, man.
Yeah?
Yep.
You're back on family land, right?
Yeah, actually was lucky enough to buy 20 acres that butts up to our family farm down there off Gladden, Stout, Welty Road area. And live right next door to where my brother lives now, which was actually the house my dad originally grew up in on an 80-acre farm.
That's awesome.
So
Keeping it in the family.
Oh, yeah. Got to stay close, man. In the end, that's all you got.
Yep.
Family and people who you can trust their word.
That's true. And it doesn't hurt to stay in a small town.
When I was growing up, though, dude, I hated it. Did you hate it?
I hated it too.
Because everybody knew everybody.
Yeah,
like,
I had to
I
get
can't
out.
Get away with shit.
I had to get out, go to the Army, do anything I could, and then.
Yeah, you went to the Army. I went into the pills.
While I was gone, all I did was talk about being back home again. So.
Well, because you realize how big the world is and how lucky you are to be where you are.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of very good families from that area.
There is. I think it's important for a lot of people to leave, even if it's for 6 months or a year, to just get away from it, to realize,
And go buck wild.
Yeah, because people that stay there just get bitter.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with coming home, but
They get sour.
They get sour, and you don't realize how nice it is. I used to tell people all the time.
A lot of people end up just meeting somebody in high school or having kids with somebody in high school, and then they're stuck.
I feel like there's a lot of
stuck.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of regret.
Yeah. Yep.
They think,
and then that leads into depression, and then pill issues, and then it just escalates. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can control your happiness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Positivity is a choice.
Yeah. I don't know about 10 years ago, but you're a positive guy now.
Oh, man.
Probably one of the most positive people I know, honestly.
You have to force it.
Yeah.
You watch my Snapchats. You know me.
Yeah, some days you just have to.
Yeah, I heard a quote one time. Positivity is a choice. The quality of your life depends on the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts.
Oh, that's deep. It's true, though.
Yep. You have to force it every day. Every day I wake up and I go, I don't want to get out of bed. But you have to say, fuck that. I'm going to do this. Yeah. If not for yourself, for your son, for your daughter. Yeah. I didn't want to have kids because I didn't want to pass down the issues that get worse with generations. I was lucky to make it through high school. I legit held a gun in my mouth, pulled the trigger. The bullet didn't go off. I carried it for years, bro.
Yeah.
I carried it for years. That's
pretty intense.
I was under 18 at that point. And that was the one thing that told me I'm here for something. I don't know what it is. I still don't know what it is.
I think we talk about this all the time, but I think you got stuff to do.
I
still got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah. And I ride bikes and I'm not safe on them. But when it's my time, it's my time.
Yeah. I think there's
whether it's COVID or it's a heart attack or I get hit by a bus walking down the road.
I think there's a lot to say for somebody Because quite honestly, I think a lot of people in your position would have just stayed where you're at, made a good living, and just rode it out.
Yeah, safe.
It's a safe way to go. But you still got work to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. I've always wanted to spread my story. I actually had 2 uncles commit suicide. Pulled my dad away from one when I was 14, like I said, and it hurt, but it made me go from 14 to 30.
Yeah.
That day. I mean, I watched my dad crumble. When you watch your rock crumble, and you have to be the rock to call the ambulance and tell them what happened, it makes you relook at life a whole different way.
Yep.
But I wouldn't change it.
What pulled you out of all that? Was there one thing in particular that just made you...
My parents found me down where I live now off Toby Road, passed out in my truck, still in gear, right in front of the garage. I was on Xanax and Percocets at the time. Me and my wife had just kind of started dating a little bit.
Yeah.
My brother called the cops on me, and it got bad. And I guess just me. I mean, I got to the lowest of lows to where I was going to OD if I didn't get out of it.
Was it like the disappointment?
Yeah, man. Like, my nieces and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I still love kids. I just don't want another kid to have to battle what I did growing up.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's admirable.
I'd adopt in a hot second.
Yeah.
If I found somebody that needed it, yeah, I'd do it. But I still feel that I need to be single for a while and just need to do me. And then I need to spread this. I mean, the whole story, if I actually went into detail, we'd be here for hours.
Right.
Like, if I actually explained from growing up, watching my mom leave my dad, I kind of seen it. I was young. Mm-hmm. She went to Florida, took me and Joe. And she wasn't planning on coming back. Some reason she did. I mean, there's so many different... Tom dying. And during the chump slump, we would have not been able to pay the payment on the loan. He would have ended up getting it back. I mean, there's so many things that could have fallen into place to make it to where I couldn't be where I am. I could have OD'd. Actually, that bullet could have went off when I was fucking 18 or 17, whatever it was. There's so many things that could have changed to make it to where I'm not here that it's too much of a coincidence to say, no.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a heaven and hell kind of guy. I don't believe in God. I believe there's a higher power, yeah, and this may all just be a fucking game. I don't know. But I believe in energy, where if you put positive out, you'll get positive back.
Yep.
If you treat people bad, your time will come.
Yep.
Karma is a bitch. And it does happen. I've watched it a lot the past couple years.
Yep.
People who've treated people badly for a long, long time, it was bad, but karma hit them all at once, and they lost a lot.
Yep.
And I still love the man, and I always will. But life's a bitch, and then you die.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And it throws a lot of curves at you, but it always prepares you for the next thing coming.
It's a good way to look at it.
Every situation either has a lesson or a blessing.
I like that.
That's Steve Harvey, bro.
Is it?
Oh, dude.
I love Steve Harvey.
That is a smart man.
I look at that. I look at 20-second snippets of Steve Harvey. For
on Instagram.
An hour a day.
Yeah, I know. That's what, dude, I'm not going to lie. That gets me motivated.
Yeah. Well, whatever works.
Yeah. Things like that. Like, he sits on that Family Feud and tells us, dude, that man is one of the things that changed my life the past few years.
Yeah.
It's not easy to look at the positive side, but you gotta, even if you believe in God, I understand it. I understand the concept, and I understand why people do it, and I've seen it help a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't judge. Just don't force it on me.
Right.
Like, if I want to start believing, I'll come see you. You know what I mean? I know where you're at.
Yep.
But no disrespect to anybody out there. I don't mean any disrespect. It's just, I'm a very real person.
Yep.
Because life is real. Life doesn't give a shit about your feelings.
That's true.
Life is black and white. Our feelings make the gray areas.
Are you throwing all the quotes out?
That one I came up with myself.
Really?
And it's actually very deep.
It is deep. Might be your next tattoo idea.
Nah, I don't know. I got some open spots, but
yeah.
Past 8 months I've kind of covered myself.
Shout out to Diamond in the Rough.
Oh, yeah. Cheyenne, Jeff, Johnny, Ashley.
Is it 4th Street?
Mickey. Yeah, it's on 4th Street,
4th Street.
right by the carousel there.
4th Street, yep.
Yeah, very talented people. Very, very, very good place.
You're looking for your next tattoo.
Oh, piercing, tattoo.
Yep.
Just somebody to come chat with. They're good people.
I enjoy them myself.
Yeah.
It's nice. You definitely feel at home when you go there.
Well, like I said, Team Locals. That's
Yep.
all part of it,
That's
man. Team Locals is bigger the more you start seeing.
Yep.
They go down and they freaking kill it Vintage Days, dude. They walked away with first, seconds, thirds, all like cleaned it this year.
Really?
Between Tyler and Johnny and Ricky and Dalton.
Did they have like a whole Facebook, Instagram?
No, it's just a group of guys.
Yeah.
They started going down there. It's the AMA Vintage Days down in Mid-Ohio.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know if it was just a drunk conversation they came up with Team Locals, but there's like all the Stutzies too. Mm-hmm. Jared and all them guys. I mean, there's a lot of people involved, and I don't even know half of them, or they don't know me anyhow. But it's definitely a crew that I trust my life with.
Yeah, all the guys that have grown up doing
Crazy
this stuff forever.
Shit. And 90% of us started at snow trails. Dude, that's the crazy part. Like Willis, he was like one of the first snowboard instructors.
Really?
Yeah. He knew Josh and Cy and all them guys from rental.
Yeah.
And I told Scott and Kelly the other day, I said, Scott, I used to watch you ski when I was younger. I was like, I'm not trying to be a creep or anything. I mean, I know we've been friends for a while, so don't think that, but like, I'm watching you, boy.
Before your hair.
Yeah,
your hair got long.
Yeah, before the beautifulness hit. But no, before he went to the military, he was always a loner, dude. He always just put his headset on and would ski. And I was like 14, went down there with D. Stewart, and I don't know. Something told me I'll connect with him eventually.
Yep, and you did.
It's weird. Like I told you, dude, the past like 4 years, things have fallen into place that it's blown me away. And there's no other way to explain it, but there's a plan. Yep. Whether you know it or not, there's a plan for you, for all of us. Yep. It may not be a good one. It may be a shit show one. I don't know. But there's a plan, and you got to ride it out. And you got to trust that the energy and there's a plan there.
Yeah.
Everything will go the way it's supposed to go, whether you like it or not.
I believe that.
It's been humbling, very humble experience.
Yeah. How long you been VP now? Before your exit?
Going on 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, I at the beginning when Mom and Dad asked if we were interested in taking over and taking all that on.
Were you terrified?
I didn't know the first thing about running a business, especially Hi-Point, dude. Yeah. I didn't realize it was as big as what it is.
Right. It was just always that place.
Until I started seeing them on like Alaska cop shows. I'm like, wait, how's Hi-Point getting to Alaska?
Yeah.
But it's something I've always taken for granted. I didn't realize how big it was. Right. I mean, and the YC freaking blow up. Oh my God. The Name the Nine contest, dude. That was incredible.
Yeah.
I didn't think we would even have a quarter of that response, and it went nuts. Right. And it's still. I'm not upset, but I'm not saying this in a bad way, but I'm pissed off it's not out yet. Like it takes forever. We want it too.
Yeah. Engineering's not.
Oh man.
Like everybody on Instagram thinks they're an engineer.
Like I said, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Right.
There'd be somebody with the YC9 already out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And making it for the price point we're going to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another big.
If somebody thinks they can do it, do it. Mm-hmm. It's America. Nothing's saying you can't do it.
Right.
Become our competitor. Do it. Let's do this.
Right.
Make us work harder. Call us on our bluff.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's like I said, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
Straight up. It's easy to sit behind a keyboard.
Right.
And I'm surprised all the YouTubers and all these people, they go crazy because they start looking at the comments. That's why I don't have a lot of social media.
It was just the early release.
Yeah.
That
it was a 3D printed model, man. Like we didn't even know.
I don't think a lot of people knew that.
No.
So.
It was a 3D printed model.
But then again, I can't imagine.
It was a dream at the point.
I can't imagine too many other companies where I would just stomp my foot and demand that, like how many concept cars come out.
Yeah.
And people
and the car that actually comes out doesn't look anything like it.
It doesn't look like an alien spaceship.
And it doesn't have a lifetime warranty. Yeah. I bet you that.
Yeah. And that's the other thing that we kind of got into. The one thing I want to touch on before we wrap it up is people will send you guys guns from the first day that you guys were a company.
Oh, the JF and JS models. Yeah.
And no questions asked. You will just...
We with the JFs and JSs now, we honestly, personally, I like to purchase them myself from a company and keep them in my safe just because it's history. It's my dad's history.
Right.
You know what I mean? The JF was named after Jerry Foncannon, which was the original truck driver.
Yeah.
And the JS was one of the Stollards.
Yeah.
And it's all history. We actually have Jerry Foncannon's daughter working at the company now.
Yeah.
She came through the temp service.
Me that, yeah.
And it's unbelievable. And with what we got going now, it's gonna create that and keep that family atmosphere. I want people's kids to be able to come up and come through the same business. You know what I mean? I want to see generations come through there. But it's not easy to keep something like that going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I smoke too many cigarettes. I'm not perfect, people. I'm far from perfect. I'll tell you, I fuck up all the time.
Yeah, but you're. I think a lot of people, and that's the thing that's interesting about you is, like I said earlier, I think a lot of people in your position would just try to play the part, and they would wear a suit to work every day. You know what I mean? And
jeans and I'm wearing a cut-off Hi-Point shirt.
Everywhere you are, every time you go
shorts.
in a bank to cash a big check, they look at you weird.
Oh, I get judged everywhere I go. I walk into Iron Pony, dude. Even today, now, since they know me very well over the past 2 years, they judge me. And the banks everywhere. I mean, it's natural human reaction. Right. I don't blame anybody for it. I honestly think it's comical.
Yeah, it's got to be
because they'll go talk to the manager and then come back and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Strassell."
At this point, I'd be more disappointed.
Don't treat me that way now.
At this point, I'd be more disappointed if I was you if they treated you like you were
royalty,
white collar, royalty.
Fuck that. I'm the one mowing the yard. I'm the one spraying for weeds and cleaning the gutters out and doing that. I mean, I do take care of the ATF numbers, but I'm the one out there. I just like being in the background. I've never liked the limelight, but now, this chapter of my life, it's time to open up a little more and get this story out there. Yeah. It needs to be heard. There's a lot of people that can be brought out of certain situations.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that can relate, like I said, especially from around here. So I think
and
the more
addiction,
you talk about it.
The suicide, I mean, I've been there. I used to cut. I mean, I went through the goth shit. I love all kinds of music. I mean, I don't discriminate and I don't judge. Yeah. Until I am in the shoes those people are in. Yeah. I can't judge anybody the way they live their life.
Well, it's definitely good to talk about because if you would have heard this stuff, back then, by somebody who you could relate to.
Yeah, especially somebody local. Yeah. And somebody that is just open. I mean, you got to be open about it. That's the biggest thing. You're not alone. And like you said, I'm glad you're doing a local podcast. I mean, I love to hear about other business owners and how Gorman Rupp story, all these bigger companies. Yep. And we're not that big, and we just started putting hiring signs out to show people where we were. But
a lot of people drive by it all the time, and for people that don't know, it's not like your typical factory. It's a lot of different buildings.
Yeah, it looks just like pole barns.
Yeah.
And we bought a car lot that used to be next door where there's a lot of big plans that my brother and I have talked through, and my brother's going to see out. I know he will. He's bound and determined to make this thing fly, and it could become Glock, something that size. You know what I mean? It very well could. And
it's got a lot of potential.
Oh, and a cult following. I mean, like they're hardcore. Yep. And make some amazing memes. Amazing memes, man. I love it.
Yeah, that's funny because you're...
even the Destroying Hi-Point videos, I watch them all, man.
You're
love
the VP of the company, and you still will share these memes, making fun of it.
Man.
So, because you have a sense of humor. And
well, yeah. It's the Detroit typewriter, bro.
The Detroit typewriter. Right.
Hey, man, why be pissed off all the time?
Right.
It doesn't get you anywhere. You got to laugh at the funny stuff. And don't take nothing to heart. There's a reason we've been in business for 34 years.
Yeah, you just get it done.
I mean, your little meme isn't going to affect how many guns we sell next week.
Right. If anything...
A lot of them may.
If anything, I think a lot of the memes lately, and I'm sure there's a lot of people listening to this that don't follow along as much as I do and you do.
Yeah,
but, a lot of the memes making fun of Hi-Point, usually end up making people want to buy one so they can at least take a picture with one.
Like Matt's videos. He had those 9 and tried to kill him, man. And he said, I want to hate these things.
Yeah.
But he just, he supposedly told me he loves his carbine, so, and I love the 10mm carbine. That's fun.
Yeah, that's the next thing I'm going to get. So, when we wrap this up here.
Sorry, I'll talk your ear off for hours, bro.
No, we can do that after the podcast. What is one piece of advice you'd give your younger self?
Yeah, you told me that like an hour ago.
Yeah, plenty of time to think about it.
That you would ask me this, and I'm still not sure if my answer is correct.
Just off the top of your head.
Like how long ago?
Oh,
puberty, teenage years.
Oh,
when you're impressionable.
18.
18ish?
20.
Get the pill out of your nose.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
No, I'd tell myself to relax and not be afraid to talk.
Yep.
Relax, everything will work out. And high school isn't the end of your life.
Yeah, that's great advice. I think everybody needs to hear that.
After high school, man, you look at roles switch so much.
Yeah.
Like I was the backwards, quiet kid, and now I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And the people that used to judge me back then aren't in the position to judge no more.
Right.
And it's amazing how many people come out of the woodwork. Hey, remember me? I'm your friend. No, I don't. I remember you making fun of me and picking on me. Yeah, I remember that.
Right. So
when I couldn't read.
Yeah. So things do eventually get better.
Oh yeah, always.
Right on.
And the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Right.
No matter how bad you think you got it, somebody's got it worse.
Yep.
And they're moving on.
All right, my friend. So we're going to wrap it up. So thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're not really high caliber. We're all pistol caliber. But, we're trying.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody.